Hello and welcome back. Thought I'd make a quick tutorial today for anybody getting started with LMMS for video game music or any kind of music that you mean to loop. Now, in this current version of LMMS, there's this slight issue with the export function when you're trying to do a loop. Now, you'll hear in the program it sounds absolutely fine with this little thing I put together for a project I'm working on. And just one more time I'll play that. So now that you've got that in your ears, let's go to an export using the loop function of LMMS that I've imported into Audacity, and it sounds the same in other things such as the Unity engine. You'll hear a very distinct little clip there. Now, this is actually two issues. It's first of all the audio clipping from a rough transition and a lack of reverb, because the reverb does not get pushed over to the beginning of a recording in LMMS when you're exporting with the loop function. And the simple solution for this is to first of all export your song twice, actually. I've already exported for testing purposes but I'll do it again on screen here. Here's tutorial loop, should be your first one, or I mean you can do it in different orders. You put in whatever settings you want your song to be, and you export as loop for this first one. That should be simple. Anybody who's getting familiar with this program like I am should be able to notice this. I will admit I too am someone who just got started with this, and I thought I would make a bit of learning easier for other people who find this video. So next you want to record or export the quote reverb version, which does not have it as a loop. Now while this is exporting, I'm going to clear the tracks over here and come back just so I can do things in Audacity, because now that those are both exported, your next step is to go over into Audacity or any other program you can do all of these functions with, and to select both of the music tracks you want to, or the ones you want to combine. Pretty much the loop and the reverb for whatever track you're working on. In this case, it's the tutorial one. Next, you're going to want to select the entire long track and pull back to the exact spot. You'll see, actually, here I'll show you again. You'll see it'll have a yellow line, and once you have that selected, you delete. Now, you'll notice this little reverb trail, which if you mute and just play, is just like the very last bit of it, is now at the beginning of the song, which means if you go to tracks and mix and render, there's probably some other functions for this, you'll suddenly have it combined. Now, if you repeat this in Audacity to hear the comparison, you'll hear a very smooth transition. Now, that audio clip occasionally will still stay there. To the better trained ear, like the more and more you're picky about it, the more and more in any song you'll notice it, which I don't think this one really has that problem. Not really at all, but it will be audible in certain songs. So first of all, I'm going to reverse back to just having the one track, and I'm going to zoom in incredibly far. Pretty much you only really need up to like 4, but whatever, whoa, a little too much actually. Yeah, pretty much only 4 places, whatever you can actually look around with. And you're going to want to select the very like end of the song pretty much. With that, you're going to fade out, and then you're going to move to the very beginning of the song, which is admittedly much easier to select. And you are going to want to fade in. Now, this song, you're really not going to notice it much at all because it doesn't really have that clip, but even doing those fade in and fade outs, you don't notice anything. Pretty much the reason you want to do that is because of rough clips. Here you have the beginning of your song, and here you have the end of your song. And while you would want these curves to keep going, in all reality, they just clip straight to 0 at the very beginning and end. And when you're playing things in Audacity, you can really hear it when you hit that play button at any random point, because there is that little pop on either side. So what you want to do to prevent this in normal playback is to do the fade in and fade out so that it goes very smoothly to 0 on your audio. This just removes any of that problems. If you make it very, very small, it will never be noticeable. Some songs need more, some songs need less. I just suggest doing it for prosperity's sake. Anyway, pretty much after you do that, you can just go ahead and export your audio like normal, just tutorial loop. Yeah, I already had one. And the nice thing about mixing and exporting from Audacity is you can enter extra information like crab and tutorial. Or, okay. And, well, yeah, albums, and no one needs to teach you these things. They're simple. Anyway, yeah, once you export it for a song this small, it's practically instant, and that should be that for fixing any looping problems your music might have. Now, it is notable that certain types of music, like even just playing this with pretty much just the bass bits of the music, usually you're not going to hear very much of that problem. Maybe a little bit of audio clipping, but those bits of the track don't really have reverb to cause problems. So it's only if you really have this problem that you'll need this. Hopefully that helps some people. Anyway, that's all I really have to show you today, and see you guys later.